Hello, everybody. It's your old friends at Monday Madness, and welcome to the latest episode of GrapsWatch, the podcast about the unprofessional world of professional wrestling. And we're taking a little bit of a break from the actual news of the wrestling world at the moment to do a little bit of fantasy booking for the month that's in it, and seeing that there is a rather high-profile tournament going on at the moment that isn't Wimbledon, if we're being perfectly honest. It's, of course, the World Cup. So on this episode, we thought we'd do a wrestling twist on it by doing a similar World Cup, one wrestler per country, and a couple of other very fun rules to go along. So join us on this wonderful adventure of some fantasy booking et al. With myself and Aaron on the latest episode of GrapsWatch. Right, unless you've been hiding under a rock or you have never heard of this thing called football, there is a World Cup going on at the moment, which is dominating most of the headlines. Unless you're in the US and you're still kind of living off the buzz of Danhausen curing the Knicks of their curse. But for us Europors, we have rather been enjoying the football, as we call it over there. But I just thought,
But
for considering.
at the point of recording, it would have been a lot more enjoyable if a certain fucking country beat another certain fucking country.
Yes, we're
But
going to
that's
keep that
fine.
nice and vague, so you
Yeah.
you have to figure out what we're actually referring to. But on this episode of GrapsWatch, we are going to do something a little bit interesting today. I know there's current affairs happening. There's shit happening. Sami Zayn has won the world championship, and everyone's like tails are spinning. Obafemi's got Brock Lesnar in Hell in a Cell for SummerSlam. We're all going to do a SummerSlam debrief on our next podcast. But seeing that we're still in a World Cup buzz, we're still in a bit of a football unites the world. Why don't we do the same thing but for wrestling? So what I've done, and I've roped Aaron into it, everyone else has avoided this responsibility, and we are making a wrestling
I
World Cup.
I just can't say no.
You just
You
can't.
ask me to do a podcast, I'll fucking do it.
Aaron, I'm giving you a dream match generator here. This is you living your fantasy booking dream here. Like, you are getting all the wrestlers possible from all the countries in the world and putting them all into one big pot and seeing what floats up first. Like, you can't say fairer than that. So
No.
here's how this is going to work, right? So I have done basically four pots, like World Cup style, eight in each pot. Basically, pot one is your kind of your big hitters, your proper heavyweights, if you pardon the pun. Pot two, then pot three, and pot four. The way I've done the pots is basically by volume, for all intents and purposes. So they're gonna pop up on screen now. So you'll see there, pot one is kind of your staples of your kind of wrestling. So you have obviously America, you have Japan, you have Mexico, the England, Canada, Samoa. So they're obviously by volume, they kind of produce the most wrestlers, generally speaking. Obviously Germany has WXW, Australia has a wonderful independent scene at the moment, and they've been producing wrestlers left, right, and center at present. Obviously Samoa, there's a whole fucking bloodline storyline about them.
You could do a whole
Canada,
World Cup with just some more.
you really could. Canada, you could go by province, depending on the wrestlers they generate. England, say no more. We have obviously the British wrestling independent scene and NXT UK to pull on. Mexico, self-explanatory, likewise Japan and USA. Pot two, then obviously they'll be more kind of population based, and again, sheer amount of people that are involved in high profile wrestling. Obviously, you've got India, Ireland. Like, there's quite a statistically abnormal amount of Irish wrestlers in WWE. You can always say the same thing about Scotland as well, and the Netherlands and France, kind of historic, really. Like, kind of like France would have obviously had representation from Andre the Giant, but they have had French wrestlers in the past as well. Then pot three are kind of the maverick teams, as it were. You've got your Austrias and Nigerias. I'll give you one guess who they are. And then you got pot four then, which again, similar in a sense, but maybe to a lesser scale. So the likes of Syria and Saudi Arabia and Bulgaria, we'll get into them. It might be self-explanatory who they are. But, and Aaron, there's always a catch with these countries. So when we do pick a country, you are tasked, because you're the only one on the call, to decide the wrestler who represents that country. that is your challenge for this as well. Because not
Okay
only are
then.
we fantasy booking here, we have to decide who represents the entire country for wrestling.
By the way, you did say with Nigeria. I wonder who
Yes.
that's going to be. Ah, well, see, it's not that fucking easy because there's
Well,
actually
there's a
two
few.
major wrestlers from Nigeria.
Well, the two quite large wrestlers, I would agree with you on that one. Yes.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so yes, most country, the majority of the countries certainly have a choice, if not at least one, valid option. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. But before we do any of that, we're going to do the group draw. And it's going to follow the exact same rules as your traditional World Cup. None of this 48 team woke nonsense that you got this year. We're going all the way back to basics.
It's
To
given us one of the best knockout uh, breakdowns I've ever seen
yes,
because of how many teams are in it. It's that one that's going on a circle and the things all kind of slowly go into the middle.
yeah,
It's fucking beautiful. It's like, why
it
has
is.
no one thought of this before? It's fantastic.
Mm. Now, that being said, the reason we're not doing 48 is for one, we'll be a bit thin for teams come pot four,
Yes.
and two, how the fuck do you calculate the best third place wrestlers in each group? We're not doing that. So not
Yeah.
happening. So I will cast your eyes now, Aaron, to the big screen. So here we are. This is a very official FIFA style draw, as you can tell, not corrupt whatsoever. So we're going to start off with our first draw. So this is literally going to go from A group A to H, and then all the kind of geographical like caveats will factor in then for the other groups. But let's get on the way. And our first country out is Germany. So Germany is going to go into Group A.
Do I pick the wrestler now or do I pick?
Do you know what? You don't have to pick them now. I think or if you want to pick them now for expediency, you're more than welcome to. But Germany, I think
Let's
it's
let's let's do it that way. I think
yeah,
just so we don't have to do it all and then have to go through it all again.
perfect. That works for me
Yeah.
too. Then, so yeah. So
So with
who's
Germany,
representing Germany?
it's Ludwig Kaiser,
Yes, that's absolutely fair. So Ludwig Kaiser representing Germany, starting in Group A,
which
and
it could have been very easily Berlin Wall, but it's not.
I'm glad you didn't. Okay, so next up then in Group
That's a
B,
deep cut as well from
it is a deep
WCW.
cut. It is a deep
Jesus.
cut. And Mexico is out next. Now, this is one of the tricky ones. Who are you picking to represent Mexico?
Oh, Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio? Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, okay.
because he's actually, if you want to be pedantic about it, he's actually Mexican.
He is actually Mexican.
Technically, the
Yeah.
obvious answer, I think, for most people in their heads would have went to would have been Guerrero,
Yeah, but
but
he's
he was
Texan.
not born in Mexico. He was
Mm,
Texan. Yeah.
yes.
So
I would also say well, Penta would have been my pick as well, but in fairness, with Mexico, you're spot of choice. You really could have picked anyone.
you really are, yeah. But
Yeah.
I think the best option really is
Okay.
Rey
Right.
Mysterio.
Right. So Rey Mysterio representing Mexico, as he often does on WWE programming. Next up then is England. England in Group C. Now, again, spot for choice here, Aaron, but who do you think is the best English wrestler to pick for this group?
I'm gonna go with my favorite British wrestler, Regal. I think it's probably my favorite British one. So what could
Okay.
have been with Regal?
Really, do you know what? I'm happy with Regal as a choice. In fairness, I think it's a very English wrestling coded as well. I mean, I would have picked Zack Sabre
Yeah,
Jr. personally, but I think
that
Regal's a
that
solid choice.
also could have been another one. I just when I
Yeah.
think English wrestlers, Regal is like the first,
Yeah.
and then it's everybody else. I'm
Fair
sure
enough.
if Dave was there, he probably would have picked fucking Will Ospreay, and I
Osprey
would
would
have
have been in my
constantly.
conversation as well, to be fair. And do you know what?
Ospreay is in.
Pete Dunne as well.
Pete Dunne would have been. Pete Dunne was there as well,
Mm.
but no, Regal is the standard bearer. I think of English wrestlers, at least worldwide,
Yeah. Okay then.
compared to everybody else,
Grand.
especially Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
Well, again, he's on the opposite side of the scale in fairness, but yeah, there you go. The game with two
Yeah.
wheels, I guess. Right then. Next up then is Group D. And Group D will have Samoa. Now, a few choices here for Samoa, but Which one are you picking? Which Joe are you going to go for?
We do realize that I wanted to be a fucking, it's just really stupid and go, well, obviously it's Samoa Joe, but I'm not.
Hmm,
Fuck, there's so much there.
yeah.
Can we pick The Rock in this situation?
You could technically pick The Rock. Again, grandfather rule could dictate, but he'd be someone that could declare for both Samoa and the US. But again, you could also have The Rock as the US wrestler as well. So,
No, I'll do The Rock for Samoa. I think there's a better answer for the US.
okay. So you're picking The Rock for
Well,
Samoa.
actually, there's actually three better options for the US than The Rock. So for
Okay.
Samoa, we'll go with The Rock.
So this means now are you blocking out Roman Reigns here?
Yes, not against Roman Reigns, but it's The Rock.
Okay. Right. So The Rock is in
It's
for
very simple.
yeah. So The Rock is in for Samoa. He has declared the grandfather rule has kicked in. So next up then is Japan.
Okada. Oh no, Inoki. Inoki.
We're gonna go recent wrestlers, I think. We're gonna let's
We're
keep it
gonna
to wrestler
we're
people
gonna go
within our
recent wrestler.
lifetime. Yeah.
Oh, then Okada. I think
Yeah.
probably in the last
Yeah.
20 years, he's probably the one that, with the most worldwide recognition. Maybe Nakamura, but I think
Nakamura would have been a good shout too, in fairness. But yeah, I think
yeah.
Okada would have been my pick too. So I think that's absolutely fair. And yeah, again, Jesus, spot for choice when it comes to the New Japan. Like it could have been him, Shibata, Tanahashi. Like Jesus, spot for choice. But look,
Shibata can't do this. His head was removed from his neck.
well, this is fantasy booking, so so once we keep our heads, it's fine. Um,
Is that the funniest thing that Dave Meltzer's ever said?
maybe.
It really is fucking hilarious. Anyway, going.
Yeah. USA then in Group F.
See, this is where this is tough, right?
Mm,
Angle is the obvious choice,
that would have been my
gimmick
pick.
and all. You can also put Flair there.
Mm,
The other end of the spectrum, you can put Hogan.
yeah.
We also have the likes of technically we can put Chris Jericho inside there if you wanted to be like really spicy. He
Yes.
was born in New York.
But we do have Canada there if
Um,
you need them. Yeah.
we, I think we all know what the Canada pick's gonna be.
Yeah.
Let's be real
Let's be fair.
now. But
Is Cody or Shawn Michaels in your conversation?
not Cody, Sean maybe. Oh, fuck, I don't know what to pick.
We can
It's
come back to
between
the US
Flair.
if you want.
Yeah, it's between Flair. Do you know what? I'm gonna get my own way for a side thing.
All right. All right. In the meantime, I will roll for Group G, and it's Australia that's out next. Now, unfortunately, Rhea
Uh,
Ripley will not qualify for this, as this we're going to be doing men only, and next year we're going to be doing it for the Women's World Cup. Otherwise, she would be the entire pot, I think.
yeah.
um, but we do have a few options. Buddy Matthews, Kyle Fletcher, Grayson Waller would be a few choices here. So it's whatever you take a pick, really yourself, Aaron, on that one.
Um, I suppose Buddy Murphy would be
You gonna go
the best option, wouldn't
Buddy
it?
Murphy? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a word. That was a perfect interjection.
Right, quickly,
I'm being
I
brought by
have
chocolate
spun the
here.
wheel.
I am a FIFA official officially.
I
Right, yeah.
have
Your
spun the
USA,
wheel.
your USA pick.
My USA pick is Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels. Okay.
Now, part of me wishes we could pick a very specific version of Shawn Michaels,
Yeah.
but we'll just go with Shawn Michaels as a whole.
Yes. And of course, for completion's sake, we have, of course, Canada in Group H. And
I
who
don't know
is your
who you play
Canadian
from
pick?
Canada. I mean, it's Bret Hart. There's no one else. Anybody who picks anybody else can go do one,
Would you
to
have
be
been
quite
tempted by
honest.
Kenny Omega by any chance?
I've always said I like Kenny Omega, so there's not even
Hmm.
going to fucking set me off. Kenny Omega's fine.
Yeah,
Bret Hart's Bret Hart.
that's fair. Okay.
Anyone in the Hart family would have gone over anybody else there. And then
Hmm.
you would have had your Kenny Omegas, your Chris Jericho's, Kevin Owens, Sami
Yeah.
Zayn's. there's a lot of names to get
Yeah,
through on that one, to be fair, but yeah.
to be fair, absolutely. Grand. So that's our pot ones all locked in. So now let's move on then to pot two, which, just as a reminder, is India, Russia, Ireland, Scotland, New Zealand, the Netherlands, France, and Puerto Rico. Now, I mentioned there at the top there we're going to be doing some geo-locking. So usually in football World Cups, there's a cap on basic confederations. So you can't have more than like one American team, one Asian team, one
Mm.
African team, that sort of stuff, and no more than two European teams. So might not factor in too much for the European teams, but certainly might impact on some of the, say, Asian groups. So let's just say India and Japan wouldn't be drawn together, let's say. So just in case we're wondering why some groups might get skipped or whatever. So anyway, let's go. Let's move on and see who goes into Group A. And New Zealand is out first. So New Zealand is going to go into Group A with Germany, and there's really there's a few valid options there. One is very redacted, so we're not going to pick him. But Jay White
Who's sorry? Sorry, no. Who's the heavily redundant one?
would be Travis.
Oh, that wouldn't have.
Yeah,
No, I wouldn't have even entered my head.
no. So Jay White would be the obvious choice here. You could also pick Canary, who was a former champion in New Japan, former member of the Bullet
Who?
Club. Hanari?
No, I don't remember. Don't know
No.
him at all off the top of my head now. I suppose Jay White's really the only option there, no?
Yep, Jay White then. Switchblade Jay White, who's only recently back in AEW,
Yeah.
uh, which is good to
Can't wait
see.
till he's not used again in 6 months.
Such is the life of a member of the AEW roster. Right then, next up then, going into Group B, joining Mexico. Scotland. Scotland is going into Group B. And who is your pick from Scotland, Aaron? You have a few
I have a,
choices here.
I have a serious option, which is Drew McIntyre. I
Yes.
have a funny option, which is Grado.
Are you gonna try and
Either
like kind of
one,
meta game the competitive realism for Scotland? How do you always shit can it in the groups and be a laughing stock?
yeah, yeah, that's also yeah, actually, yeah. It's probably Drew, to be honest.
Yeah, I think there's only
Yeah.
one real kind of serious option there, really, isn't there?
Now again, there's a lot of talent in Scotland.
Yes, absolutely,
Some of
absolutely.
them which are kind of, I suppose, legends of the Cork
Yes,
wrestling scene. But yeah, Drew's the obvious option there.
yep, that's fair. Granted, so let's move on then to our next role. Who's joining England in Group C? India. India goes into Group C, which is absolutely fine. Definitely no colonialism flavor there at all. A few choices for India, of course. We would have had the great Kali. Jinder Mahal can declare for India, even though he is Canadian. You can also have Mustafa Ali, as he is of Indian heritage as well. Or you can pick Sanjay Dutt of TNA fame. So there's a few choices here for India.
Now,
Um,
Sanjay Dutt
mm,
is a good choice,
mm,
but I do and will always have a soft spot for Jinder Mahal because his title win against Randy Orton might have been the one time my mom nearly stabbed me with a knife.
mm.
Because I was in bed and I was watching it, and he managed to pin Randy Orton, and I let out a "oh fuck" at the top of my fucking lungs, and woke my mum up, and she nearly fucking beat me to death. Um, so I'm gonna go with Jinder Mahal
You're gonna. Oh,
because I always did like Jinder Mahal. There's something about him you can't help but like. His presentation as champion was very good.
okay.
Um, Everything else about him was crap. But he was
Well, like I said, if you want to go for a pure wrestler, you could always pick Mustafa Ali. But as I said, like that's this is your choices here, Aaron. So you will be judged accordingly for
yeah.
them. So this is the Rocky Parishon. So let's see who gets into Group D. Who's going to pair up with Samoa? The Netherlands.
Alistair
Netherlands.
Black.
And yeah, exactly. Alistair Black is the
Yeah, that
obvious
wasn't
choice
even,
here.
there was no other option there. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Alistair Black.
Now, in fairness, now again, the Netherlands do come in there because they have quite a lot of people in the WXW realm, and their recent conversion is Ricky Sosa in TNA, but he can also declare for Belgium, which is why Belgium made it into
Oh,
top four. So there you go. Next up then in Group E, who is going into Group B? So
great.
that's Puerto Rico. Now Puerto Rico can go into Group B, And again, there's quite a lot of choices with Puerto Rico. You can have Damian Priest, you can have Low Key, you can have Mike Santana, any of the Colognes like Carlito, Primo Epico. There's quite a few choices here for Puerto Rico, but which one is tickling your fancy the most?
I did not know that Loki was Puerto Rican, so I'm picking
And you can
Loki.
also pick Amazing Red.
Oh, did like Amazing Red in TNA. No, I'm gonna stick with Loki because of that famous fucking backheel kick that he had. He man and knocked him, fucking sparked him in the middle of the ring 2 seconds in. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen in the wrestling ring. He's
Yeah.
fine, so that's why it's hilarious.
Hmm.
Because he looks like Tasmanian Devil before he winds up for it and then fucking sparks him in 2 seconds. Funniest thing I've ever seen.
That's fair.
Every
That's
time I see it on Twitter, I look at it. It's the greatest wrestling game
fair. Okay
ever.
then. So with that then, we have three European countries left to go. Let's see who goes into America's group. It's going to be France, which I'd say is probably the
Baron
weaker
Corbin.
of the two. What's it? Baron
Baron
Corbin.
Corbin.
He'd get naturalized if he stay. He has to work in
Yeah.
France for a couple of years, but no, that would be the rugby rules. And again, France, very much a historic one in terms of Andre the Giant, of course. But in recent memories, you could have Rene Dupree, as a kind of like a kind of as it were a proverbial kind of French pick. The Rougeau brothers would have been more French Canadians, but an actual French wrestler you could pick is Elio LeBlanc, who is now in NXT. And you can also perhaps go for Sylvain Grenier, but again, he's more of the French Canadian type, as it were. Rene Dupree is also French Canadian, so I don't think he'd really qualify in this one. So Elio LeBlanc would probably be your most valid one, unless you have one under your hat there, Aaron.
I don't actually, you know. I don't know a lot of French wrestlers.
Well, there's Marcus Louise famously, and then Sylvester Lefort, who are both NXT alumnus. They were both a French team in NXT. Um,
I that must be the point where I completely checked out of
mm,
NXT because I don't remember them at all. Yeah, go with the fellow who's currently in NXT, I suppose. I had Rene Dupree in my head, but yeah, I forgot he's actually French Canadian.
yeah. So Elio
Very
Lafleur,
French.
I should say, not like it was his former ring name was Age Blanc, was Elio Lafleur now in
But
NXT.
actually, hold on. If we're able to go with the French Canadian route,
Not necessarily, but go on, argue your case.
Kevin Owens.
I think he'd be Canadian only. I think, like again, French Canada is not like
Eh,
it's. Yeah, I think that would
it
be
is
the
Quebec.
that'd be the
Yeah,
cutoff.
no,
I think. Yeah,
yeah, all right, yeah. Let's
yeah,
let's go with your man from NXT then.
yeah. Unfortunately. Okay, last then, Russia or Ireland? Who is going into Group G with Australia? It's going to be Russia. So Russia, of course,
Idiot.
have had a lot of old wrestlers back in the day, but the most recent Russian wrestler is Ilya Dragunov,
Yeah.
and I think that's the one we're going for. I think straight away, I'm looking at that match and going, "Ooh, bang a 205 live off that." Uh, and last but not least, then of course, is ourselves. We waited right until the end here to get picked. It is going
It'd
to
be
be
great if we
Ireland.
actually planned it that way, but no, we
It
didn't.
not. It really isn't. It really isn't. That's why I'm recording myself doing it. So that's gone. So Ireland are going in the same group as Bret Hart. So who's your Irish candidate? Who are you picking?
So much talent there.
Mm. Now my initial
I'm
pick would have been Fergal Devitt, but
I'm actually not going to do that. I'm going to go with. I'm not saying the Fergal isn't David isn't obviously proper homegrown. I mean, he trained in Fight Factory. I'm going to go with LJ Cleary on this one because I think out of all the talent we produced in the last 10 years, LJ Cleary might be my favorite wrestler to come out of Ireland.
now he
Maybe
hasn't
ever.
been contracted yet. So that's what I'm saying. Like, would he stand up to? Would he win? Basically, the question you have to ask is, would he win in a match against Bret Hart? That's
No,
the
I
way you
mean
kind of have to look at it.
if you're going to go with that logic, no one does.
Yeah. But this
But
is what I'm
for
saying. So like this current LJ Cleary has to go square up against Bret Hart. This is what I'll be. This is the kind of hypotheticals we're playing with here.
fuck, I mean, in that case, then David.
Yeah, it is. No, I
Actually,
agree with you. I
no,
think
no. Actually, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go back to my original thought process. Fucking Phil Boyd.
Bill Boyd is not going to square up to Bret Hart.
Prime Phil Boyd can square to everyone.
He can, absolutely. But it's I'm gonna have to veto that one, unfortunately.
Fuck's sake.
Sorry, but I mean, listen, we don't get to do well in the World Cup that often. Can we at least make sure that at least our best players are there? You know?
All right, fair enough.
Let's not do the FAI on this, please. Let's not have a side pan here. Um, but again, in fairness, like I agree with you with the LJ thing. I think like if we do this in 4 years' time when he does have a contract, he's in there, 100%. Uh,
Yeah.
so okay, so that's our groups now at the moment. So let's move on then to pot three, which is an eclectic mix. We have South Africa, Italy, Austria, Nigeria, Ghana, Spain, Switzerland, and Tonga. So let's get our first roll out and let's see who's going into Group A. And straight out is Nigeria going into the
Of
same
course it
group as
is.
Germany and New Zealand. There has to be only one choice here, surely.
Again, I could be a fucking weirdo about this and go, no, there's two choices. But I'm not. It's over.
It's Obafemi. Yeah.
There's a fucking independent wrestler from Africa that I cannot think of
Hmm.
who was famous for just being a fucking charlatan for just like nearly 20 years in Africa. He was like the world champion of African wrestling for just like
I know who you're talking about, the great something. I know exactly who you're. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
the great something. I know exactly who you're talking about, but I just can't replace it off the top of my head. Um, but yes, I'll look that up momentarily. So, yeah, Obafemi goes into Group A. Let's pick the next country. Next out is Switzerland, and Switzerland can go into Group B. So Switzerland, there is really one major choice there. I think it's fair to say. Uh, unless you can
Oh
find another Swiss superstar in the mixer.
no, no, it's fucking Cesaro.
Yes, Cesaro, Claudio Castagnoli, whichever you prefer. So yes, he's going in the same group now as Rey Mysterio and Drew McIntyre. Next up, then
Still annoys me they never got the Kings of Wrestling in WWE.
I know,
Don't
I know,
understand why they just never did it once.
or ever again, it seemingly.
Uh,
Okay, next out is Italy, and Italy will go into Group C, in joining India and England. So Italy, again, a couple of
just
serious choices and
just
not
a
so
quick
serious
one here,
choices.
actually. I'm
Yeah.
sorry for cutting you off. Just a quick one here because I managed to find a list of African wrestlers. We actually had more than we thought. We
Okay.
did have Omos. We also had
Yes.
Apollo Crews,
Yes.
Moose. We also had what was the other one? Oh no, I don't know, South African. Jordan Obenguian is currently signed with WWE.
Hmm.
That was another one. Apparently, he used to be a basketball player.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was actually a few more than I expected
Okay.
coming out of that. Actually, yeah,
Well, like I said, there's a few. There could be a few picks then for some of the other kind of choices in the pots here. So,
yeah.
yeah. So, so when it comes to Italy, so again, Italy would have had some serious choices over the years and not so serious choices from ranging from Santino to the FBI to, again, much like the French Canadian rule. I don't really think Italian Americans
No,
really fit the profile. But out and out Italian wrestler doing quite well for himself, Akira in New Japan.
yeah, I
Uh,
can't think of another one.
yeah.
If you let, I suppose the obvious choice, if you just let it be any year, the obvious choice is Bruno
Yes, exactly. So if Bruno would
because
have
he
been a
actually is
historic one, yeah,
Italian.
yeah,
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I suppose that's the only other Italian wrestler I can think of.
yep. Okay, so Akira goes into Group C then with William Regal and Jinder Mahal. Next up then, uh, we'll see who comes out next for Group D this time. Tonga is out in Group D now because Samoa has already been picked and they will be an Oceania state. We're going to put Tonga into Group E with Japan and Puerto Rico. So Tonga again, couple of choices. You got Rocky, you got a lot of the kind of as it were sundry tag teams. So you have a few choices here for when it comes to Tonga. So feel free to pick whoever works
Oh,
for you.
Tamatonga.
You know Tamatonga? Yeah,
Yeah.
Tamatonga. There we go. I think it's
Now
only
the
fair.
other option is Bad Luck Fale.
Mm. I was thinking about Luck
Originally,
Fire
origin,
myself. Yeah.
yeah, but Tamatonga I think is probably my pick.
Mm.
Mainly just down to the fact that if he had joined WWE like 6 years earlier, he
Yeah.
might have actually been bigger than he currently is. I
That's
quite
fair.
liked. I always liked Tamatonga. He's
Yeah,
just nuts enough that you're just like, I wouldn't want to be fighting you, but I'd like you on my side.
I was thinking the same thing where like Haku would have been an option as well. I was like, I'm not facing that guy in a month of Sundays.
Well, to be fair, you said no historical wrestlers, and Haku
Yeah,
hasn't been a fucking major one since about what,
I was about to say
2000?
that was my cutoff there. It's like
Yeah,
that was the thing. Yeah. So next up then, so we're still looking for a third team in Group D. So let's see if which what the wheel gives us. Well, that will do. Austria comes out in Group D, and they do fit the profile.
I don't know who you would pick from Austria. I don't have anyone off the top of my head.
Anyone at all? No one kind of top of the head there.
Well, some lad that used to wrestle in RTT, all right. I don't know why he's been doing with himself for a while.
So this is a guy called. There's a guy who's currently in WWE at the moment called Gunther. Big
Oh
guy, does
yeah,
the chops.
yeah, big guy. Yeah, does the
Killed
chops.
AJ
Yeah,
Styles
Chloe
in
for
Cold
some
Blood.
reason doesn't like him. Yeah, let's go with
Yeah,
him. Let's
that's
go
him.
with him. I
Yeah,
think he
yeah.
should be all right.
Okay, Grant. So Gunther is now going to be in the group with Aleister Black and The Rock.
Phenomenal.
I think we might have found our group of death.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. Next up, then, we're going to Group F. Who is joining Elio Lafleur and Shawn Michaels? It's going to be Ghana. Ghana is going into Group F, and we do have one very famous Ghanaian wrestler. Is that the one you're going to pick, however?
I had yeah, Kofi Kingston.
Kofi Kingston. Yeah, absolutely.
Had to make sure that he actually was from Ghana because for a second now my brain
Yes.
went, no, he's Jamaican. No, he
Well,
wasn't.
again, he's one that like Jamaican character but Ghanaian wrestler. So again, you could
Yeah.
argue that like that's like the semantics of it all. So okay then. Next up then is for Group F, who is going to join our cohort? It is going to be South Africa going into Australia and Russia's group. So South Africa, again, a couple of choices here. You could have had Justin Gabriel, you could have Adam Rose, or you have Angelico for of AEW and Ring of Honor fame.
Go with Gabriel.
Justin
Soft
Gabriel.
spot.
Justin
I have a
Gabriel.
soft spot for for the
The
Nexus in the
Nexus, yeah.
first season of NXT. So
I suppose he has had the most prominent booking of the South African wrestlers. I suppose Adam Rose was
yeah,
a bit of a joke at the time, but
A- Adam Rose would have been a choice, alright. I
mm,
did like the Leo Kruger character actually.
the
I
Kruger
wasn't sure they
character
never
had
brought
legs. It
that.
just came at the wrong time, I think. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also didn't Bray come around not long afterwards? So kind of
Exactly.
I kind of got to
Yeah.
fucking choose
Yeah.
here now.
Yeah, indeed. And of course, last but not least, then we'll leave us with Spain. And Spain, some recent recruits, in fairness. Romero Moreno is currently in NXT, formerly known as Zoya in this part of the world. But the first one that was there was A Kid, now known as Axiom. Um, so we can,
Well, anyway, I'm going to go with Kane, born
yeah,
in Spain, right? So that cuts that out. We're talking about Italy earlier, and none of us fucking didn't think of what's your man in OTT?
Renzo,
Renzo?
yeah.
How did none of us think of fucking Renzo?
Again, not contracts. That's what I'm thinking. He's still kind of indie
Does it
level at
have
the
to be
minute.
WWE guys?
Doesn't have to be, but I'd say like anyone who's contracted, like
Yeah,
who's in kind of a prominent wrestling promotion. I know OTT is prominent, of course. Don't get me wrong,
yeah.
but you know,
Yeah,
as a,
if you listen closely, Joe is threatening to kill you right
it's okay.
now.
He doesn't know where I live yet.
But
Uh,
Kane is the option for Spain, I think. Legend status and wrestled relatively recently.
mm,
Enough that it's close enough anyway that you can fucking pick him. I would pick Kane in that
pick
one, to
who?
be
Sorry,
honest. Kane.
Kane.
Yeah. Did you not know Kane was Spanish? Oh,
Uh,
come on.
I actually didn't know that. Hang on.
Kane. Yeah, yeah. Kane.
No, actually,
Kane.
something has tweaked in my something has tweaked in my head. Hang on.
I typed in Kane. I got Harry Kane. Right, that's not what I wanted.
Whereas I'm working with the shoot name here.
Kane was born in Torreon and Ardos in Spain.
He would qualify.
He would qualify.
He would qualify. Yep, he was on a US naval force. So yeah, Kane
Just
would
just
qualify for
outside
Spain.
Madrid.
Yeah,
Yeah, just
yep.
outside Madrid. Yeah, there you go now. There's a fun
No,
fact out.
that is
Everyone
a fun
thinks he's
fact, and
American.
I
He's not.
genuinely purged that fact from my brain, much like everything else about Glenn Jacobs. But there you go.
Well, yes, okay, we don't need to think too much about how he is now,
Yes.
but not agree. One of the best wrestling characters.
Well, I now have a wonderful image of him dressed as a matador, so you put that into my head now. In
Yes,
fairness, so that is
there you
I
go.
do appreciate that. In fairness,
Well, he
uh,
did try to do the Matador thing because he did wear a cape on house shows. So
that is true. That is very true. Okay then, so our groups are nearly filled. Let's crack on then with our final pot, which has Northern Ireland, Bulgaria, Saudi Arabia, Brazil, Cuba, Syria, Wales, and Belgium. So let's see who comes out first and who is completing Group A. Brazil. Brazil are out in and will complete Group A. Brazil, I think, probably have more representation on the Women's World Cup when we do get to that next year. But I think the
that's
most
what I was just
prominent,
thinking. All right, yeah.
yeah, the most prominent name would be Cesar Bononi, who has both been in WWE, NXT, and in AEW. So I think he'd be the probably the most logical pick. Um, but again,
If he's the one again, I don't know a lot of wrestlers from Brazil off the top of my head.
yeah. So Cesar Bononi completes Group A, and fun fact: the first match of the entire World Cup will be him versus Ludwig Kaiser, because that's how these fixtures work out. So more on that in a few minutes. Okay then, next up then, who is completing Group B? Saudi Arabia comes out of the pot, and they will complete Group B. Mansoor is the most sensible choice there, but there are a couple of other
All
Saudi
right.
wrestlers in the mixture if you are inclined to take a risk on a developmental project. But
Nah, let's go with Mansoor.
with Mansoor, yes, Mansoor will complete Group B, and he's going to be in a very eclectic mix there, all right. So we move on then to Group C. Belgium, just on the cusp there was Northern Ireland. So Belgium, well, unfortunately, they can't go into either Group C or D. So Belgium will go into Group E. Um, so Belgium, two choices here you have, Aaron. You have Ricky Sosa, who's now in TNA, hot indie prospect, now given a TNA contract, or you have Dorian Van Dux, who is now in Evolve,
That's
and
not a
soon
real
to.
name.
It is his real name, Dorian Van Dux. And he is now the kind of the like powerhouse bodybuilder style. He was on the Indies as well. He can declare for both Belgium and France. But Ricky Sosa or Dorian Van Dux is your choices there. So who I
Go
would
Ricky Sosa.
Ricky Sosa, yeah, it's fair. I mean, he is the moreover of the two, in fairness. So, all right then. So we are rolling on then to our next group. Bulgaria is next out of the pot, and again, same rules as applied. C and D cannot have more than two European countries, so Bulgaria will go into Group F. And again, there's only one real clear choice for Bulgaria, and that would be Rusev, surely. Um, so
Yeah.
so Rusev will complete Group F, and we are almost done. We just have a couple more groups to fill. We're getting all the European teams out early, apparently. So Wales is out next, and they will go into Group G. Same rules apply, unfortunately. So
Uh, Mason Ryan, obviously, is your obvious choice there.
Mason Ryan is a
Uh,
choice. You also have Mark Andrews, Flash Morgan Webster, Wade Barrett qualifies as Welsh as well. Um,
does
and
he?
apparently so, yeah. I think there's more down to. I know he's born in Preston, but I think he's of Welsh heritage. But again, I think Mason Ryan is not a bad shout. I think Mark Andrews is a solid shout as well, and take a pick from a lot of the indie stars out there too. But I think
Go with Mark Andrews. I
Mark
think
Andrews, yeah, okay, for something
probably out
different.
of all of them, he's probably the most prominent Welsh wrestler, I would say.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay then. So we have a gonna have a probably a bit of a conundrum. We are actually gonna end up with one team with three European teams here, but let's see what comes out in the groups first. We'll go from there. Northern Ireland is out next. So again, no real major choice in this one. So I think Northern Ireland's gonna go into Group C because either way, everyone's locked out. So Northern Ireland is gonna go back up to Group C. And two choices for me on this one. We have Killian Dane, of course, or Finley.
What's Finley?
Finley? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's absolutely fair. Uh,
Again, it's not just because he's the probably the most famous Irish wrestler for a good 20 years.
Mm.
He also debuted in WCW by beating the Sheriff of William Regal and saying, "For 800 years, these people subjugated my land."
That is a great way
Now,
to start your wrestling career, in fairness. Just
ballsy
goes
move on Eric Bischoff's part to go, bring the troubles into it. Fuck it.
if anything Eric Bischoff recognizes is trouble. Uh, to be fair.
To this day,
Okay.
it's probably the ballsiest. Like, could you imagine if WWE did that? They brought in Finley
Oh,
and he immediately started talking about the troubles in the mid 90s. Fucking hell.
certainly a choice. It's certainly a fucking choice. All right then. Last two teams to pick out then, and first out is Cuba, and Cuba will complete Group D, with Samoa, Netherlands, and Austria. So Cuba, a few choices here. Conan, I think, would probably be the most kind of well-known choice.
Again, I
It,
thought he was Mexican.
yep, there you go. There's a couple of other choices there, but I think Conan would probably be the one that's kind of screaming out to me anyway.
Who else is in Cuba? Just
What we
to
have.
make me think.
Let's see what we have. Rocky Romero would be another one. Um, so yeah, I think Conan and Rocky Romero, I think, is what you'd be kind of opting for there.
Nah, Conan. Yeah,
Conan,
that's an option.
Grant. And then that, of course, leaves then, last but not least, will be Syria. Now, Syria,
Okay, well this one has to go to Sami Zayn, yeah?
there can only be Sami Zayn, really.
Yeah, there's no other. Fuck, is there another pick?
No, I think you got on the button there, really. I think that's the lot there, yeah.
I
Absolutely.
did think of Lebanon you could have picked,
Yep.
which would have been the Sheik, or
Yes.
why the fuck am I forgetting this? ECW,
Sabu, you're
Sabu.
thinking of. Yeah.
He would have came into that as well.
Mm.
Um, love hearing him talking to our side of the ring, by the way.
Mm.
Fucking, he's so funny every time. Always sounds like he just took a line of cocaine just before the camera set it go.
What do you
It's
mean?
kind of mad. He speaks at a mile a minute. It's so fun to listen
What do you mean
to.
sounds like?
Well, yeah,
Is, I think
you
is
know what I
more
mean.
appropriate. Yes, I do. I do. I
Yeah.
do. Okay then. So that's all of our groups completed. Let's have a look at the official brackets. So first of all, here is your Group A. So Group A, which is what we're going to be starting off our attention with, is Ludwig Kaiser, Jay White, Obafemi, and Cesar Bononi. In Group B, Rey Mysterio, Drew McIntyre, Claudio Castagnoli, and Mansoor. Group C, William Regal, Jinder Mahal, Akira, and Finley. Group D, The Rock, Aleister Black, Gunther, and Conan. Group E, Kazuchika Okada, Low Key, Tamatonga, and Ricky Sosa. In Group F, Shawn Michaels, Elio LaFleur, Kofi Kingston, and Rusev. Um, Group G, Buddy Murphy, Ilya Dragunov, Justin Gabriel, and Mark Andrews. And then finally, I think personally is a group of death. Group H, Bret Hart, Finn Balor, Kane, and Sami Zayn. Yeah.
Jesus.
Typical of us to get drawn in the fucking group of death, isn't
Mm.
it? So, with all
Or
the.
it's like having a prime Robbie Keane or Roy Keane in your squad there. You know,
Yes,
you always give us a chance at least.
exactly, exactly. So here is so now we have all of our fantasy matches all populated here. So we're gonna do our group stages. These some of these are gonna be easier to judge than others. It has to be said, but we'll still got to talk them through nonetheless. So here's the way this is going to work out. So because of the group stages, we'll have winners and losers. So obviously 3 points for winner and zero for the loser. At the group stages, we will allow for draws. So if you can't pick between them, you can pick a draw, and each wrestler will get a point. So in the event, because this is wrestling and there can be more than one winner, if we have a split decision, let's say two wrestlers top of the pile with 6 points, or say second place is 4 points or whatever with third, and it's shared with third. There's no goal difference here. So if there's two picks, they're going into the next bracket as a triple threat, and we'll just stack them up from there. So there you go. And because I wasn't going to figure out how, like I don't know what the goal difference is in wrestling. Finishers, maybe? I don't know. And
But
otherwise, like
again, are we just going to sit here and go Finn Balor got 4 finishers and Bret Hart got 5?
exactly, we're not doing that. Not a chance.
Yeah.
So, so our opening contest of the entire competition is Ludwig Kaiser versus Jay White. So, who would
Okay.
win in a match between Kaiser and Jay White?
Ludwig.
You want
Good
to go with
sex
Kaiser?
appeal. Gets him over the line there. Actually, just realized for Mexico, if we wanted to be really pedantic again, we could have picked Mr. America. Oh, sorry, El Grande Americano.
Again, we don't
No
know much.
reason why,
Yeah.
yeah, no reason why I just thought of that there. Pure
Mm.
chance, but
Yeah, it's a real mystery to us all. So Ludwig Kaiser then winner of his first match of Group A, and then the other fixture in that group, Obafemi versus Cesar Bononi.
open friend.
I don't think that's a competition, to be honest.
Yeah,
Not a chance.
not at all.
No. Right then. So, next up then, Group B, Rey Mysterio versus Drew McIntyre.
Ray,
You
yeah,
tentative
Ray
with that one.
Mysterio,
Rey Mysterio? Okay.
yeah,
Rey
yeah.
Mysterio's going to beat Drew McIntyre in the opener. Next up then, Claudio Castagnoli versus Mansoor.
Claudio.
Claudio Castagnoli. So there we go. Next up then, William Regal versus Jinder Mahal, opening fixture of Group C.
I mean, there is only one option there. Let's be real.
William Regal? Yeah.
It's obviously Jinder Mahal. Um,
I don't know who has paid you for this Jinder propaganda, but
who
can I have some?
who who is a former WWE champion? Who at that point outdrew Seth Rollins as WWE champion? Jinder fucking Mahal, that's
You
it.
picked William Regal as the English representative. You could have had literally anybody else. You picked Regal. You are fighting against yourself here.
I am, I am, I am. But I like to bring that up. Jinder Mahal outdrew Seth Rollins.
Yeah,
Just
no.
need to
Let's not
mention
rub
that
it
there.
in. So, are you? So I did put in Regal there, presumably that's who you picked. But are you going for Jinder Mahal nonetheless?
No, I'm actually going to go for William Regal. I mean,
Grant. Okay.
I
Thank
could
God.
be funny about this, but I'll take it somewhat seriously and realistic.
That's fair. Okay then. Next up then, Akira versus Finley.
Finley.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think to be fair, Akira's very like hard hitting himself, so I think that would be a cracking match in fairness. So I would not say no to that in real life. Now, Group D, tasty affairs here. The Rock versus Aleister Black. How's that for a
The Rock.
fucking mix of styles?
There's a
And
part of me like The Rock wins, but there's a part of me would have loved to have gotten heel Hollywood Rock against Aleister Black.
mm,
His hamminess may have sold out very well to the point where it was like, that can work.
yeah,
There's just something there that probably shouldn't be there. But yeah,
mm, yeah. So that's fair. Next up then, Gunter versus Conan. Battle of the Heavyweights.
Gunther.
Yeah, that's fair. Next up, then, so we've had all wins so far, but Group E, perhaps maybe the pick of the tie of the round so far, Kazuchika Okada versus Loki.
Like Loki's a legitimate badass.
Hmm.
Like a legitimate fucking psychopath.
Again, draws are an option
But
here, and you can pick a draw in the group stages here.
do you know what? I'm gonna go with a draw on this one. Just
Yep,
because of how fucking nuts Loki is, and he's always capable of knocking out his opponent for no reason other than the fact that it's funny. And
that's
he's right.
fair. That's totally fair. Next up, then, Tamatonga versus Ricky Sosa.
Tamatanga.
Tamatonga, okay. Tamatonga will top Group E momentarily. Next up, then, Group F, Shawn Michaels versus Elio Lafleur.
Michaels.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the easiest matches of the draw, to be honest with you. Next up, then, the bang of mid 2010s wrestling here. That's Kofi Kingston versus Rusev.
Like, it's what we probably have about a handful of matches to work off of with
Yeah,
that one.
yeah. I'd say you can probably just pull up the competitive record, but again,
Yeah. Um, I go with Kingston, more of a powerhouse in terms of name recognition. I
I
go with
suppose like former
Kingston.
world champion and not. So yeah,
Yeah.
so that's fair. Okay then, Buddy Murphy versus Ilya Dragunov.
Yeah, yeah.
Whoa, nice choice. Dragonov.
No,
Justin
again,
Gabriel versus Mark Andrews.
go with a draw on that one.
Draw between Gabriel and Andrews. That would be a fun match, actually. I'd enjoy it. I'd
Mm.
enjoy that match.
Put a
Now,
30-minute time limit on it. Time limit on it.
whatever. Let's say 15 minutes. There's group stages, to be fair.
Yeah.
Didn't need to go that long. Now, here's the pick of the draw, lads. Bret Hart versus Finn Balor. This is a tricky one.
I don't know. Head says Hart. Heart says Balor.
Hmm. That sounds like a draw to me, Aaron.
Spice it up a bit. Go on, Balor.
Going for Balor.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we have had an upset win in this group anyway.
A
Um,
prime Finn Balor fucking end of New Japan kicking into
hmm,
WWE against a prime fucking Bret Hart. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
shit.
yeah. It's very possible. Okay then. Get next up, Kane versus Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn, right? So everyone's off the mark then. So everyone's looking well so far. So with those, let me see if I can sort these out a little bit. Do. Okay, so let's press on then with match day 2. So starting off, Ludwig Kaiser versus Obafemi.
I feel like Opa's going running through him like a battering ram. Yeah, go with Oba.
Obafemi, okay. So Obafemi 2 for 2 so far. And next up then, Jay White versus Cesar Bononi.
Jay White.
Jay White, indeed. So Jay White off the mark. And that will presumably eliminate Cesar Bononi from the World Cup. Sorry about you. Next up then, Rey Mysterio versus Claudio Castagnoli.
Oh, God, Prime Mysterio versus Prime Claudio would have been mental. Fucking mental. Draw.
Draw. Draw between Mysterio and Claudio. So both on 4 points.
By the way, can we just point out as well, didn't mention it earlier, for the USA pick, I could have been a fucking mark for that, by the way.
You could have
I'm
been a mark.
surprised you,
I think
I
you've shown a remarkable self-restraint not picking him.
I should have picked, like there was a part of me just even bring up Punk.
Yeah.
And I
I
was
think you
like,
did very well. I think the
no,
medication's working for you, Aaron. I think it really is.
I think the medication is working with me.
All
Anyway,
right then. So next up then, Drew McIntyre versus Mansoor.
true.
Drew McIntyre. No, I spelled it wrong there. His name wrong even. Let's try that again. There you go. Now, so Drew McIntyre off the mark in that group, and that will eliminate Mansoor from proceedings. Next up then, William Regal versus Akira.
Regal.
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable shout. And next up then is Jinder Mahal versus Finlay.
Finley.
Finlay. So Finlay. So already Regal and Finlay have qualified from this group. And who do they face each other
Finley.
next?
Finley, by the way, has one of the best independent theme songs ever. Do you know
Mm.
what it is?
Uh, who are you talking about again? Sorry.
Finley, the song he used on the Indies in Ireland and England.
I don't. It doesn't. It's not coming to mind. I'll be honest with you.
It's Belfast by
Yeah.
Boney M.
Oh yes, 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 yes.
Yeah,
That is a good shout. To be fair, that is a cracking
it's a
one.
cracker of a song.
Yeah,
It
that's
doesn't
absolutely fair.
necessarily fit Finley.
It's just a good song. But
Pardon the
again,
pun.
that's indie wrestling. If you just have a banger of a theme song, it
It's
gets
just
you
not a
over it. And
banger. And the thing is, it works for her face.
yes,
It doesn't work for the bone breaker that is Finn Finley.
exactly. Yeah,
So yeah, but yeah, that was his team song in the Indies. Hitting
that's
out with a
fair.
load of trivia today in this one.
There you go. I'm learning a lot today. Next up, then, The Rock versus Gunther, Group D.
Oh my god! Oh, that's so fun.
That is a fun match, isn't it?
That is such a fucking nuts match. Like I'm thinking as well, not even like Prime Rock. I'm thinking Final Boss Rock
Followed what? Yeah,
against
that's what I'm
the
thinking.
Career Killer.
More heavyweight kind of rock. Yeah,
Ooh, fuck it, go with a draw.
yeah. I think when you have to think about it, I think that tells you, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Next up then, Alistair Black versus Conan.
ooh, that'll be a good match.
Hmm.
Um, let's shake it up a bit in this group. Give it to Conan.
Give it to Conan. Wow. Okay. That would mean Alistair Black is eliminated.
Is
He's out
he?
of the World Cup.
Shit, did he not have a win yet?
No.
Oh fuck! So basically, whoever lost this match was out.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, right. Then
He's
yeah, Conan. I'm still gonna stick with Conan.
he's not going back to it, lads. Let the record show.
Everyone, do you know what? If it was one of those things where Alistair Black
Yeah, yeah.
would have been fine with it, either one of them fine would have done it like a fucking a win for either of them. But no,
Yeah.
if one of them's gonna go, it may as well be Alistair Black.
That's fair. That's fair enough. Okay then. So next up then is Kazuchika Okada versus Tama Tonga.
Oh, Kata.
To be fair, that match has happened to death in New Japan, I'd say. So yeah,
I feel
absolutely.
like that would be one of
That is
the.
a
I feel like
G1
that would
classic.
be.
That is,
Yeah, that does scream as someone who just like,
doesn't
oh
it?
god, then two again.
Okay then. So next up then, Loki versus Ricky Sosa, a proper X Division
Low
clash.
key,
That is. Yeah, Loki. Yeah,
low key, back of the heel into the back of the head.
yeah. As per my previous email. Next up, Shawn Michaels versus Kofi Kingston. I got him with that one.
Sorry, fucking stupid. Michaels.
Michaels, yeah. I'm surprised I got him with that. That's to say that's he knew to be cunty in the office, you know.
It was
Um,
just, it was how quick you said it. It was just, my brain took a second. I went, fuck, okay. Oh, yeah, that's good.
I popped him. Let the record show I popped him. Next up then is Elio LaFleur versus Rusev.
Group stuff.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. And Rusev's now off the mark in that group, so it's all to play for going into the last round. Buddy Murphy versus Justin Gabriel.
Bang a 205 live off that, isn't
Isn't it just?
it? We'll give it to Buddy Murphy because of who he's married to.
I think that's a bit unfair on him, but I see your logic. I don't think she'd be very happy if he was eliminated in the groups.
No, that's where
No.
a lot of the me picking Buddy Murphy will come from. It's the pure fear that Ray Ricky might ever find out about this
Yep,
obscure Irish wrestling podcast.
exactly. Yeah, it's entirely possible. Next up then, Ilya Dragunov versus Mark Andrews.
Idiot.
Yeah, I think that's again, that match has probably happened on 205 Live or on NXT UK, to be honest with you. But
It may have. I
yeah,
also feel like it probably would have happened at some point in progress for some reason.
definitely, definitely. Right then, last then, Group H, Bret Hart versus Kane.
Bret Hart.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think Bret will get his heat back from from Balor beating him. Um, Next up then, Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn.
Draw.
Yeah, okay, that's absolutely fair. Uh, so all right then. So as the groups go into the final round, Obafemi is topping Group A. Jay White and Ludwig Kaiser joined second. Uh, Rey Mysterio and Claudio are joint leaders of Group B, which I think stand Drew McIntyre will be going out. Regal and Finlay will be duking it out for top spot of Group C. And then Samoans The Rock and Austria's Gunther is sharing first and second at the moment. So Conan and Aleister Black are being left out at the moment. Okada and Low Ki are topping Group E with Tama Tonga in third. Shawn Michaels has qualified for the next round, but it'll be down to who's finishing second between Kofi Kingston and Rusev. And then Group G, Dragunov leading the way, Buddy Murphy second, with Gabriel and Mark Andrews both with a point. Finn Balor and Sami Zayn are currently keeping Bret Hart out of Group H at the moment. So let's see how that goes in going into the final round, which starts off with Ludwig Kaiser versus Cesar Bononi.
Kaiser.
Yeah, that's fair. Three for three. I think that's absolutely reasonable. So Ludwig Kaiser will finish the group with maximum points. And then finally, now this is the battle for second, Jay White versus Obafemi.
I'm gonna go for experience on this one. White,
Going for Jay White.
former IWGP champion. Should be a former AEW champion if they actually booked him properly. He's a trios
Hmm.
champion. Don't say that with a lot of conviction.
So that would mean that oh sorry, I made a mistake there. And two wins for Oba, six. Yeah. So we have three people topping the group. Group A. So we'll come back to that momentarily. Let's go back to group. Let's go
This
to
is the
group
one
B.
thing we
Yeah.
didn't want to happen.
It really is the one thing. So
I
growing
think what
into
I'm enjoying here as well is that I'm not asking to see the groups. So I'm literally going to sort of apply intuition. I think it's more fun for myself that way.
yeah, exactly. So next up then, Group B to settle it, Rey Mysterio versus Mansoor.
Mysterio.
Absolutely fair. So Rey Mysterio now top in the group with 7 points. And the other match in that, and this is will be for second, Drew McIntyre versus Claudio Castagnoli.
Drew.
That's Drew, you said, did
Drew.
you say?
Yeah. Yeah, Drew.
So Drew McIntyre wins that match and will finish second in that group ahead of Claudio Castagnoli. Switzerland are out of the World Cup. So, next up then, and this will be for top spot in the group, William Regal versus Finley. There were people
Uh,
rubbing themselves silly to this match.
that's probably the cleanest way you could have said that.
Yes.
Uh, let's go with draw.
Now, okay, so you went with a draw here. So that means they still top group C regardless. So we'll have to pick a winner we'll have to decide who's top on that one. So because otherwise the seeding doesn't make sense. So anyway, so a draw on that one.
Aaron,
Next up
stop
then,
fucking ruining it for me.
well, we will come back. Any conundrums we'll leave to the end. Jinder Mahal versus Akira is the rubber match in that group.
Gender.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Jinder gets his heat for a little bit at least, so he will finish the tournament on a win. Next up then, Group D, The Rock versus Conan.
Rock.
The Rock, yeah,
The Rock. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so The Rock will finish on 7. And then it'll be Gunter versus Alistair Black.
Gunter.
And Gunter. Okay, so Gunter is on 7 as well. So they are both joint top as well. So another conundrum to solve on that one. So Group E then. Kazuchika Okada versus Ricky Sosa.
Okada.
Kazuchika Okada. And
I feel like you're doing
Low-key.
yourself more work here by just not hitting Okada. I think you just type Okada. I think people will probably know.
Alternatively, I could just copy and paste it, but I'm just being lazy now.
Yeah, actually, you could have done that too.
Yeah, I could do
Fuck
that
it, yeah,
too.
go
Yeah.
on. You're somehow being
Low-key.
lazy and also doing too much work at the exact
Exactly.
same
Yeah.
time.
It's a winning combination, that is. Low-key versus Tamatonga.
Low key.
Low-key. Okay, so I think we will have another split group on that one. Yes, we will. So, unfortunately, this is where the lack of goal difference will impact us, but we'll get through nonetheless. Group F, Shawn Michaels versus Rusev,
Michaels.
and Ilio LaFleur versus Kofi Kingston.
Kofi.
Kofi Kingston. Hey, that works out terrifically because that means then that Shawn Michaels will top the group, and Kofi Kingston will jump Rusev for second. So there you go. Next up then, Group H. Buddy Murphy versus Mark Andrews.
I'll go with Riley McGoo on that one.
I'm gonna go with Buddy Murphy. I'm glad that I knew exactly what you meant there when you said that. Ilya Dragunov versus Justin Gabriel.
Show me that group.
Dragunov's qualified, just so you know, and Murphy will be on 6 points after that win. So,
Give Gabriel his run back then.
okay, interesting.
Uh, let's, you know what? We have too many dead rubbers running
Yeah,
through
this
this. Make it a draw, and then Ilya
will top the group then.
is on 7. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, next up then, to settle Group H, Bret Hart versus Sami Zayn.
It's hard. But again, fuck, that would be a bad match.
Hmm. You gonna go with Bret Hart?
Yeah, I'm gonna go for Bret Hart. Yeah, sorry.
And then lastly, Finn Balor versus Kane.
Finn.
Finn Balor. So Kane is out of the World Cup for his maternal country. So, so Bret Hart and Finn Balor. So Finn Balor will top the group. Bret Hart will finish second, and Sami Zayn eliminated, and is the highest, one of the highest ranked wrestlers to be eliminated. So indeed we have some dead rubbers. So as I said, we do have a triple threat rule. So what we're going to do is, uh, for this group here, so what we need basically is one wrestler to come in as the top of the group, and that'll then settle out the seeding then for the rest. So either way, whoever Jay White and Obafemi are going to share second place, and we'll put them into a triple threat then in the next round. But or rather, a choice of the two, I should say, Kaiser, White, or Obafemi will be in a triple threat. So what we want from you there, Aaron, is who you want to top the group going into the next round.
I'll give my 2 picks now.
Oh, just one. Just whoever you want is
Well,
to be
no,
the
no,
person.
I can give my 1 and 2 now. I
Okay,
know what my
sorry,
one
yeah.
and two is gonna be.
All right.
Um, I'm gonna just not be that guy who keeps picking WWE wrestlers, so I'm gonna go with Oba and Jay. A bit of
So,
spice into it.
who is your
So
who's
Oba
number one?
one, Oba, sorry, Oba one, Jay second.
Okay, grand. So that means that Jay White and Ludwig Kaiser will then be in the same pairing then. Okay.
Yeah,
So Oba's gonna be top of that winner
it
of
is
Group A.
fucking raining. What
Okay.
the fuck?
So
We have rain, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah, we do. Well, quite a lot of it actually, as it turns out.
Yeah, I just noticed it there. Just
Yeah.
all the
There you
time.
go. Okay then. So the next dead rubber to solve then is between William Regal and Finley. So who's topping the group between those two?
Patriotism first, everything else second. Finley one, Riddle two.
Okay, so Finley's top of Group C. The Rock versus Gunter. Who is top in that group?
Gunter one, Rock two.
Gunter 1, Rock 2. Who's top in the group between Kazuchika Okada and Low Ki?
Okada one, Noki two.
Grant. And that's all of our dead rubber solved. So, after this magical cut, you're going to see what the knockouts are like. And Aaron's going to figure out in real time how fucked he's made these pairings. In post. Aaron, you may now look at your screen. Here are our pairings for the knockout rounds.
Finley and Joe McIntyre is just disgustingly beefy. Um, Finley and The Rock. Dragunov and Bret Hart. God damn. Batter and Buddy Murphy. Show make the okay. Gunter and Regal. And then there's a triple threat match. Okay.
So yes, so for those who are audio only, here are the knockout rounds. So again, if you want to visualize it, we're going from basically the top left to the bottom right here. So in case you're unfamiliar with how the old World Cup format used to work, basically the winner of Group A would normally be paired up with the runner of Group B, and then the inverse of that would be on the opposite side of the draw. So if you like, the top left would be winner A and runner B, and then winner B and runner A would be on the other side. And then basically the same would happen then for the winner of Group H and G would be on like the bottom left corner and top right corner respectively, and then everyone else kind of pairs up from there. It was a very simple way of doing things. I'm not sure why they changed it, to be honest with you. So anyway, So the pair ups as they are is Obafemi versus Drew McIntyre, Finlay versus The Rock, Kazuchika Okada versus Kofi Kingston, Ilya Dragunov versus Bret Hart, Finn Balor versus Buddy Murphy, Shawn Michaels versus Low Key, Gunter versus William Regal, and because we had a split jury in the Group A, Rey Mysterio versus Ludwig Kaiser and Jay White in a triple threat. So basically, all the pair ups you heard there, every pair becomes a quarterfinal, and then they become a semi-final, and so
Semi
forth. So
final.
that's the proverbial size of the draw they're on. So Aaron, I will get you to start off with a round between Nigeria versus Scotland, Obafemi versus Drew McIntyre.
Over.
Obafemi is going through to the quarterfinals. In spite of Drew McIntyre, he was out. But hey, you know what? Scotland made it to a knockout round. That's pretty good by World Cup standards. Um, Next
Scott,
up, then
I've given him something.
you have, in fairness to your credit, you have given him something. Um, and the winner of this match will face him in the quarterfinals. Northern Ireland's Finlay versus Samoa's The Rock. And no draws this time. There has to be a winner.
See, this is where my head is going with fuck the Rock versus Overferry class one.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, Finley versus Overferry might be quite good. I'll go with just the star power alone, and the most fun it'd be the Rock versus Over.
The Rock versus Obafemi in the quarterfinals. That's absolutely fair. I'm gonna put these.
I feel like Jerry is going to listen to this podcast, and I will hear him cursing me from my office.
I mean, again, it like especially with the USA picks, it's very hard to suss out like a choice there. Um, there is certainly an argument that we could do a basically a proverbial Super Bowl style of this, where everyone picks, we get a wrestler from each state. I think that's certainly a follow up we can do down the line.
Oh my God, you have a Eurovision one
Yeah,
you can fucking do.
we could
Not that I
do
just stick,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, there's an
Again,
op.
now we can pick Canada in Eurovision. They're in
Yes,
the Eurovision.
yeah, they're the most European country I could ever think of, Canada. So.
I do love
Uh,
how the two countries outside of Europe have gone into the Eurovision and the both places that mainly Irish expats go to.
and yeah, we still can't win the fucking Eurovision. Funny how that works.
Yeah, we still can't fucking
Yeah,
win the Eurovision, yeah.
yeah. So next pair up then is Japan's Kazuchika Okada versus Ghana's Kofi Kingston.
Okada.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
think
no
there's any
fucking
contest there, really,
person.
is it? It is absolutely fair. And they will be facing the winner of Ilya Dragunov versus Bret Hart.
That's, again, disgusting career.
Hmm.
That would be a phenomenal match. But picking anybody other than Brett would be mad.
So Bret Hart goes into the quarterfinals where he will face Kazuchika
Even
Okada.
looking at this on the left hand side, I don't see a position here. It would be very hard for me not to put Brett as far as the finals.
Hmm. He's
Mm.
on a good path, in
Anyway,
fairness. He's on a good path.
he's
We'll
got a
see.
very good
Yeah.
path. Yeah.
So next up then will be Finn Balor versus Buddy Murphy.
Fit
Finn Balor proceeds to the quarterfinals. And he will face the winner of Shawn Michaels versus Low Key.
Sean.
Yeah. I'd love to see that match, in fairness. That's proper fancy
Oh
booking,
my
that is.
God, that would have been. Oh,
Mm,
don't start me, Jesus.
yeah. And now we have an all European affair this time. We have Gunther from Austria versus England's William Regal.
Again, God damn it, that would have been good.
Yeah.
Um, any one of these people could be a good pick.
Mm. So, who are you picking?
I don't know.
This is the one you're having real trouble with.
This is the one I'm having real trouble with because either of them are good picks. Regal is my favorite British wrestler ever.
Mm.
Hunter's a fucking badass. And the thought of the two of them in a ring, like 2006 Regal, where he should have won the world title
Hmm.
against a modern day Gunter is Dark
Yeah.
Regal.
Regal's gonna beat Gunter. Well, there you go. William Regal through to the next round, and he will face the winner of Rey Mysterio versus Ludwig Kaiser versus Jay White.
Kaiser made my
Ludwig
life difficult again.
Kaiser.
Made my life difficult. My own life difficult. From my choices in the quarterfinals.
There you go. So Rey Mysterio out of the World Cup, as is Jay White. So these are how the quarterfinals are shaping up. Obafemi versus The Rock. Kazuchika Okada versus Bret Hart. Finn Balor versus Shawn Michaels. And William Regal versus Ludwig Kaiser. Tasty stuff altogether. So let's get.
Oh my God, there's some great matches. There's not a bad match there.
No, there really, really isn't.
And
So,
also, like, granted, three of them as well are just like all good fucking just phenomenal, just like wrestling matches. And then you have
mm,
Obafemi and The Rock, which would be the complete opposite end of it, but still would be class. But like
yeah,
not in a bad way. Like, could you imagine The Rock standing in the ring and a camera shot shows him standing in the ring with the silhouette of Oba on the
yeah.
stuff? Fucking hell. Oh my God.
Anything to be said for another retirement match, Rock?
Oh, his retirement matches next year at Mania when he loses to Reigns. Um,
Yeah, in fairness. Okay, so let's get into it then. Quarterfinals time. We have Obafemi versus The Rock starting us off. It doesn't get any easier than this, Aaron, to be hard. Or,
it
it doesn't get any
doesn't.
harder than this, to be
Well,
honest with you.
I this one is just more just like what's the fun option?
Yeah,
Just purely from in ring stuff, and I'm gonna go with The Rock
yeah. Okay.
because because and it's not against who I pick as the loser in the next match, but it's a better option.
Yeah.
It's the easy option of the two.
That's fair. Okay then. So, indeed, the Rock is through to the semi-finals and will face the winner of Kazuchika Okada versus Bret Hart.
Hart. Again, it's not against Okada, Hart, Bret Hart, Bret Hart.
Bret Hart is Bret Hart. So maybe that's a semi-final. That's a quarterfinal that goes to penalties, I think. To be fair,
Yeah,
that's one of those ones. Um, Next up then, Finn Balor versus Shawn Michaels.
see, this is also a hard one.
Mm.
But said boss, and there was nothing after the boss.
It is every one of those matches that you'd pay to fucking see. Like that is a
oh, I'd
blockbuster
sell my
match.
soul for it.
Yeah.
I'll sell my body for that match. Um,
Queries from the
fucking
gallery
hell.
there.
Fucking, it was the wind telling me pick Finn. Uh, Finn, I want to give it to Finn, mainly down to the fact that if Finley had gone through out of the first round of knockouts, I would have picked Michaels, but I want more Irish representation in Sims.
Okay, so you are going for Balor then.
I'm going to go for Balor, yeah.
Wow, okay, right. So Finn Balor's going to knock out Shawn Michaels in the quarterfinals.
Again, I know they're one of those that could easily go to fucking penalties, and every team scores 11 goals, and it just keeps going around until someone finally makes a mistake.
Yeah, that is totally fair. Then he will pair up then with the winner of William Regal versus Ludwig Kaiser.
This would be not a great match, but I feel like Riddle's better than Kaiser in a
Yeah.
sense.
I think that's probably the easiest of your quarterfinals, to be honest. I think that's actually
Yeah,
quite a straightforward one. Which
and
again
again,
says a
not
lot about the
because
other quarterfinals, to be honest.
it's the semis now, which is the fun one.
Yeah, yeah,
So one
exactly.
out of
So
the what way are we doing the semis? So it's Rock, Brett,
Rock
Fowler,
Brett versus Finn
Balor.
Regal, yeah. So yeah, there you go. So The Rock versus Bret Hart is this first semi-final. So who is winning that match?
Give it to Brett.
Bret Hart's going to the final. So he will then face the winner of Finn Balor versus William Regal. I think you put yourself into a bit of a hole here.
I have.
You put your two favorites together now. Or it's two of your favorites together anyway. I wonder would you make would have been an easier decision if you had Shawn Michaels versus William Regal.
Yes.
You let your
100%.
patriotism like
Now my patriotism getting in the way there, yeah.
yeah.
I can't commit to either one. Um, Regal.
He's picked William Regal. William Regal's going into the final against Bret Hart. And just for a bit of flavor, we always have the third place playoff in the World Cup. The Rock versus Finn
Can I?
Balor for third place.
Finn.
Okay, you didn't have to think about that
No, I never think about that
one. So Finn Balor is third place
one.
against The
I
Rock.
put it down in a funny route as well. He'll have more stamina than him. At this point, The Rock is blowing the fuck up. So
That's true. Yeah, to be fair, that's quite a lot of tournament wrestling for
yeah,
one brand. So I don't think you have any more pure wrestling than this. Canada's Bret Hart versus England's William Regal.
the perfect facing him.
Hmm.
Um, do I want to start shit and pick Regal? Of course I do.
I, for what it's worth, I find this a very straightforward pick, to be honest. But that's just me speaking.
It is a very straightforward pick.
Mm.
But again, I pick one, it causes that chat to blow up for a day or two, or at least a couple of hours. I pick the other one, it's a safe bet, and no one argues with me.
Don't forget that you do have YouTube comments down below the line as well that will be equally as furious at you, and they don't know you
I
as well as we do, Aaron, about how much of a shitposter you actually are. They might think you're being genuinely serious with this.
like there's two very funny options here. So funny. Both of them are equally hilarious.
For what it's worth, I think this is a very simple final. I think
I
there's a
know,
clear winner
I
here.
know, I know there's a clear winner. The
Yeah.
obvious winner is Bret Hart. But again, it's the shit poster inside me. It's like when Triple H faced Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30.
Mm.
Obviously, he wasn't going to beat him. Be funny if he fucking did, though.
Yeah, that's true. I would
It
agree with
would
you on
have
that
been,
one, to be honest with you.
it would have been funny. But I think I'm gonna just not want to get shouted at for fucking ages and ages. So just take Brett.
Bret Hart is going to win the GrapsWatch World Cup in the final against William Regal. That is a tasty fucking match, all the same. I would buy
That
that
would
for a fucking
that
dollar.
that would be an hour fucking Iron Man match, and it would honestly be one of the best showcases of heel face
Mm,
psychology I think ever.
yeah.
Because Regal is otherworldly as a heel.
Mm,
Brent is the perfect face champion. Now, there's a lot of ways you could have went about this as well.
yeah.
You could have, if we were allowed to pick historical wrestlers, Bruno probably would have gone farther.
Yeah, I think if we are going through
If
the
it,
whole history side of it, then like Hogan would have been a like massive shout. Maybe even Hogan or Savage, I think, would have been a surefire
well,
finalist
I
as well.
still, I still think my American pick would have been the same.
Mm,
Now looking back on it, That or Angle would have been
Yeah. I
would
think
have been my
Angle and
pick
Michaels
there.
would have got to the same level. Like again, like this is your picking the brackets here. Like I think the only thing I would have changed would probably Mysterio beating like Kaiser and and Gunter probably beating Regal. So I would have had Gunter Mysterio in that quarter final.
Uh,
And I probably would have had Shawn
that would,
Michaels beating Balor. That would be what I would have done. And I probably would
mhm.
have been setting up a Michaels Gunther semi final. That's probably what I would have personally.
Okay.
But
Yeah, that would have been
it's no
yeah, that would
difference
have
really.
been
Like I think like I fully agree with you on the left hand side of of the draw. Like I think everything is exactly in line with what I would have done.
It's
And I
exactly
think
how we probably should have gone. Yeah, I mean, the moment I
yeah,
saw Bret Hart there, I was like, this obviously won't be in
yeah.
Bret Hart. Um,
I wouldn't have said no to a Bret Hart Shawn Michaels final to be fair.
I could have very easily have just gone, oh yeah, go with that, go with that, go with that, go with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But in my head, I was like, no, I gotta actually weigh up the merits here. And
Mm,
although Michaels and Bret Hart would have been fun,
yeah.
the referee would have been paid, obviously.
It
Um,
would not have been Earth Hebner anyway, that's for sure.
no, it wouldn't have been Earl Hebner. No,
Mm,
no. But it would have been that ref from the Ireland and France game
mm,
10 years ago. But in that case, it was the best way it could have worked out.
yeah.
I was also just thinking of the actual matches themselves
Mm,
and like where these matches would have went. Like some of them would have been class.
yes.
Oprah Femi and The Rock would have been fucking sick. Then again, The Rock versus Finley would have been shite. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Okada,
that one's a good example of a clash that's too much of a clash of styles for it to work.
there's too much beef
Yes.
and there's too much of a wrestler in there, if that
Yeah, yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, The Rock has had some classic matches against like proper fucking wrestlers and
Mm,
Kurt Angle and stuff. But again, Okada and Kingston probably would have actually been decent.
yeah.
And Okada Hart would have been class. Strong enough and Hart would have been class.
Mm,
The Rock and Bret Hart would have been fucking sick if the two of them were in the same company at the same time. If I think if Bret was able to wrestle again in 2003 or four, I think he
mm,
may have been able to fucking get the match out of the two of them
yeah.
at some point. Um, and then the other side, I know the triple threat match. I kind of half regret not going with Mary Mysterio, but at the same time, he still would have lost to
That's
Regal.
what I would say. I think regardless of who he was facing, I think I probably would have had him beat Regal, but I would have had to lose to Gunter. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
But I think like even then, like I think like semi-final would have been the maximum there. I'm curious now, if you had picked different people to represent countries, do you think it would be any different? So say if you picked Roman Reigns instead of The Rock, do you think he would have still made the
Oh,
semi-final?
if Flair won the wheel that I did, he would have won it.
Interesting. Okay. Gee,
He
Bret
would have
Hart versus
outright.
Ric Flair in a final would be tasty.
That would have been fucking sick.
Hmm.
Absolutely sick.
Yeah.
Um, Again for the heel face psychology of it all,
Hmm.
it would have been a masterclass.
Yeah.
Um, like there was other names inside there when it came to Scotland. I feel like if we actually deep dive into Scottish wrestling, like not too deep, no, obviously like almost some fucking random lad who's got like
Yeah.
6 matches, but I mean like got a list of names up.
Hmm.
You probably wouldn't have picked Drew, and there would have been better options there. Um,
Oh,
Russia
I
again.
think even all the other picks you would have had, like for instance, I think like maybe out of the groups, maybe one or two would have been gone through that I would have picked. But again, I don't think it would have got any further than the round of 16. So I think it's fair enough the way they've ended up.
Yeah,
Like for instance,
yeah.
if you had Kyle Fletcher instead of Buddy Murphy, I still think you would have lost to Finn Balor. Does that make sense? Like I think
I don't like Kyle Fletcher
I
though
know
at
you
all.
don't. I know. I'm just using that
Yeah.
as a kind of as a counterpoint.
I'm
But
not. I
yeah.
think the thing is, well, it's not that I don't think he's not good. I've seen one or two of his matches. He's fine. It's just he's not a wrestler that I personally like.
Yeah, oh, he doesn't do it for me either. But
Um,
yeah, I see what you mean. Um, but yeah, that's kind of. I still think that's a pretty solid final, to be honest with you.
yeah,
Especially with England losing in the end, which is always very fun to see.
you give
Uh,
him the hope and then you take it away.
it's the fucking hope that kills them.
The BBC and West End show is going to bang. About how
The
they nearly made it.
William Regal the musical will be a fascinating play. I would say that.
And
I
and
yeah.
another fun fact, here. The guy who played Tuchel in
Mm.
that fucking god awful show that I've only seen clips of, actually played a Nazi officer in Glorious Bastard.
Not
So
even
I mean,
remotely surprised at that casting, to be honest. Not even remotely
not at all.
surprised at that.
There was Finn versus History did a bit where they were on about like what Tuchel's dad had to have been in the Nazis, or his granddad had to be, and they looked it up. And there's like the only news about him of what he did according to the census was that he was a postman. And I'm like, fuck off, that's bullshit.
To be fair, he
He
does have a
had
postman
to.
head on him. In fairness, that's
He
like the
does,
perfect
but
radius for a hat.
no, no. I'm sorry. Any German ancestor that doesn't say they were at least somewhat part of the Nazi regime in the 40s at like military age is lying to themselves.
But yeah,
It's like someone has paid off someone around there to get his name off of that list.
yeah.
Who was it and why did you do it? Well, we know why he did it, but still. But yeah,
So going back to the draw here, who do you think was the biggest surprise package of this? You know how like there's always like a kind of a dark horse in the tournament and they kind of like surprise you because I think people got like seeing Regal get to the final. I think would have shocked people.
well, see, yeah, fine, I can see that. But again,
Yeah.
Regal is one of the best heels WWE. He's one of the greatest mid carders ever.
Mm.
He's a phenomenal comedy wrestler. He's always been a phenomenal heel. He
Yeah.
should have been world heavyweight champion when he was the GM of Raw.
Agreed.
It's one of my biggest ever what ifs, I think, in wrestling. He
Mm.
didn't get popped for those drugs, but did give us that promo in NXT, which was
With Cesaro.
oh,
Yeah. It was
brilliant.
brilliant.
Yeah, it was Cesaro. Fucking brilliant. Kaiser getting as far as he did probably would be a shock to people.
Mm.
Um, I think even though Regal getting to the final for me is not a shock, him beating Gunther would have been a shock to people.
Yeah.
Mike is probably getting knocked out in the quarterfinals as well.
Yeah, I think that would constitute a shock as well. I think of kind of a few shock eliminations as well. Like I'm looking at say, I think also the draw. Like this is why I'm glad we did the draw live as well because as I said, there's no kind of chicanery with it. But like Aleister Black not scoring a single win is a shock. I think.
Yeah,
Um, like Sami Zayn not getting to the next round is a shock. But then look at the group he's in. Like that's
yeah.
pretty severe. You know? Yeah.
It's a perfectly fine third place. It's not like he lost out to fucking Kane or anything.
No, not
He
at all.
came
No, absolutely. Yeah.
third against two of the best wrestlers in the world
Yeah.
in their fucking pomp. So,
Mm.
but yeah, no, that was fun.
Yeah, that was great. So yeah, that is the GrapsWatch World Cup. We'll definitely do something like this again. We're definitely going to do it next year for the Women's World Cup, and yeah, that's going to be a very different thing to unpack. I have to say, that's going to be. I'm really looking forward to doing that.
Well,
Uh,
we don't have to. The winner will be Katie Harvey from Ireland. Uh,
I don't think she'd even pick herself as the Irish pick. She'd pick Aoife. She'd pick
she
Lyra. She'd pick
wouldn't.
Becky.
No, she probably would. She's the queen of Irish wrestling. I know we've said Becky is probably the only one I would like really like go, ooh, fuck, okay. But no, it's Katie. I've I'm a mark for Katie Harvey to the point of like annoyance, but she's
So it doesn't come
fucking
across Aaron
phenomenal.
at all.
Also, the way she trains wrestling is much better than previous coaches that I've had.
But that's also very true.
Yeah,
When you have good people in charge, I think that does help. But yeah, I think that'll be a very thought provoking tournament when we do that. Like names like Rhea Ripley, Charlotte, Natalia, all in the mix there. You know, it's
yeah, that's
you
another
know
good company as
Stephanie
well.
Vicker. You know, pick take your pick from
I
all the
would
Joshi wrestlers. You
actually,
know.
I wouldn't even pick Natalia. Sorry, Charlotte as the American pick.
Oh no, in fairness, like I just picked that name off the top of my head now, but there's
That's
loads of
probably
choice
the
there.
hard. Like I don't know much about Joshi wrestlers. So chances are when we get to that fucking point, I'll probably pick one of the ones that are in WWE. But the American one would be the hardest. I think
Mm.
the American one is the hardest to pick out of the women's one because fuck me, the amount of talent there is disgusting.
I suppose like Canada would be Trish Stratus, I'd say. To be fair, um,
It would depend on whether you wanted someone that's flashy or an actual like wrestler.
well, this
So
this
you
will be the
invited
conversation we'll
yeah,
have in the year's time, yeah.
yeah,
And yeah, geez, and then the UK scene itself, like there's only a choice for like for Ireland, Britain, and all of Britain, I should say, including Scotland and Wales. And yeah, there's even
yeah.
choices for
Britain,
like
yeah,
for most of Europe.
all of Britain's another mad one. I think it's one of those ones where you could probably put Wales in there
Yeah, no,
to
the Tegan Knox would be
yeah,
the Welsh pick, so that's actually quite a simple
yeah.
one. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So there you go.
Okay.
Right. Well, listen, that's for next year's delectation. So thank you all for tuning in to the GrapsWatch World Cup. Guaranteed to be exactly the same as the real World Cup. So congratulations to Jesse Marsh's Canada for winning the World Cup against England, which is statistically impossible to do because they meet each other at some point in the tournament anyway. But there you go.
That would
Pick their
be
own rules.
objectively funny because Leeds fans absolutely
Hate
hate
that guy.
Jesse
Yeah.
Marsh, which is kind of weird considering that he kept them up from being relegated that season. That they kind of were like they looked like they were going down.
Yes.
They looked like they were just spent, and he came in and managed to save them. Like, oh, he's not that bad. Like, oh hey lads,
Yeah.
he's not fucking he's not Alan Smith Jordan United in his prime. Like it's Jesse Marsh.
He's just American. That's all he is. Like it's fine. It's not a crime yet.
Yeah.
So, uh,
Yeah. Yes.
yes. So, until then, we'll be back then in 2 weeks' time then for a proper Graps Watch podcast, which we haven't had in about 2 months. But we will have a proper discussion about what's been going on the road up to SummerSlam. Um, Including the surprise title change with Sami Zayn now being the world champion. Obviously, dipping back into the Mirror Universe to see what's been going on there. I don't know myself because I haven't touched that save file in about a month and a half. So it'll be a surprise for me too. But then there'll be also other bits and bobs as well that we're talking about. We have the run into AW's All In show with seemingly Osprey Prime for the top spot as well. There is plenty to talk about, amongst other things. So when we get an itinerary
This
sorted out,
this
you
might
will hear
be
that.
this might be the one time you need to get Jerry and me on the exact same podcast. We can both shit on Will Ospreay for 40 minutes while Dave sits there and cries.
That is very much a summary of our group chat, in fairness. And
Like it's one of the few things that me and Jerry actually agree on.
yes,
I still hate the fact that I missed his review of that AEW show a couple of weeks ago.
I'm sure he'll
Fucking
give it. I'm sure he'll give it out to you whenever if you ask nicely. So yeah,
yeah.
we'll see you on the next Graps Watch. By all means, let us know down in the comments if you agree with our bracketology here. If you even agree with our picks for each country, let us know what your alternative tournament is down below. We'd love to hear from you. And by all means, do your own. Like check. Like we don't own the rights to the World Cup, and nor do we own the rights to wrestling. So by all means, do your own and see what happens and let us know. But until then, we'll see you all on the next podcast. Enjoy the graps.